The first time I ever actually witnessed this was I was in 29 Palms when I was in the Marine Corps, and I got something out of a vending machine and it gave me change back. And the coins came out. There were several quarters. There's a couple of quarters that came out, and one of them sounded fake to me. Ironic, right? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Millennial Men Actual. This video's topic is going to be money versus currency. Now, I'm sure you've heard both of those words, but you probably never actually say currency. You probably talk about, oh, how much money does that cost? Or how much money do I have? How much money can I make? How much money do they have? How much money do they make? I guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, when you use the word money, you actually mean currency. So we're gonna take a look at that. The easiest way to see what money is to look at the properties that make something money. The first is going to be a medium of exchange. Now, it's self-explanatory. It's exactly how it sounds. It is a medium of exchange. You can use dollars to buy an energy drink at the gas station. You can use dollars to buy gas at the gas station. You can use dollars to buy a car. You can use dollars to buy a house. You can use dollars to buy anything because it's a medium of exchange. You don't have to take part of your house and go trade it for a car. You don't have to take the windshield wipers off your car and trade it in for an energy drink. You can just use dollars, which is a medium of exchange. So that's the first property of money, is a medium of exchange. The next property of money is going to be a unit of account. Now, a unit of account just means that you are able to compare prices of products and services. So if something costs, a burger costs $5, then you know that because of the unit of account that this $5 bill will get you that burger. Now, this may sound like common sense, but back when you had to barter cattle for salt, for fish, it was very difficult to have a unit of account because you weren't sure what was worth what. And it really came down to the value in, the perceived value of both parties who were in that exact precise exchange. So a unit of account really allows someone to say, let's put this number and that's what it's valued at. And if you have that amount, then you can get it. The next property of money is portability. It needs to be portable. This is very portable. I mean, check this out. You can fold it up tiny, right? Just like that. And this is like, what, 5, 10, 12 bucks or something. It's very portable. It's lightweight. Compare it to a gold brick, right? You can't carry that around very easily. It's heavy, it's big, grabs a lot of attention. Silver is even worse because it's valued less per ounce, so you're gonna need more of it. So US dollar is very, very portable, and this is one of the properties of money. The next property of money is durability. It needs to be durable. And this is why gold and silver made for very good money for a long time. The US dollar is pretty durable, I would say. I've got, let's see if I can find an older bill here. So this dollar bill is still intact, and it's from 2009. So this is over 10 years old. I don't know if you have a 10-year-old computer or a 10-year-old, something that's 10 years old or laying around your house, right? It probably isn't as good of shape as this dollar bill. And if you think about how much these bills get passed around every single day for goods and services non-stop, it's pretty durable. So that's one of the properties that money needs to have, is it needs to be durable because of money velocity every time it exchanges hands. The next property that money has to have is it needs to have divisibility. Imagine trying to trade a cow without chopping it up, and you just wanted to get a loaf of bread. It'd be very difficult. It needs to be divisible. And you can't just chop off the cow's ear and hand it over. You can't chop off a leg and hand it over. Again, this is where the US dollar comes in handy. You've got 5s, 10s, 1s, 2s, if you've been around long enough, 20s, 50s, 100s, all the way down to pennies, nickels, and dimes. So it's very, very divisible, and it allows you to make exact change to get very precise portions of things, products, and services. This is a very important property for money to have for obvious reasons. Now, another property that money needs to have is fungibility. Now, it's 2021, and I'm sure you've heard the term NFT. NFT is just an acronym for non-fungible token. It's a token that is not worth the same amount of value as another token. So it's non-fungible. Well, with money, money needs to be fungible. So if I have this dollar right here, it needs to be worth the exact same amount as this dollar, as this dollar, as this dollar. Every single one needs to be worth the other one. Now you can take, for example, salt or cattle or fish, and by size, weight, and quality, you could quickly realize that it's hard to have fungibility for livestock. And this is why it's very important for money to have fungibility. So far we've covered 6 properties of money, and the 7th one is what will define the difference between money and currency, and why this is not money and why it's in fact currency. That's because the 7th property of money is it needs to be a store of value over a long period of time. Now, obviously we can use our cattle, for example, and say that beef stored over 1,000 years is not going to hold its value. It's not even going to hold any value. It's going to go bad. So this is the example that I'm really excited to show you, because we're going to get to see how the dollar has not held its value over a long period of time. The reason dollars came into existence was people used to own gold and silver, but it became very difficult to travel across the nation with gold and silver. And so the banks started issuing notes. And they would say that this note, this piece of paper, was worth X amount of ounces of gold or silver. And so you could take this piece of paper from your bank who is holding your gold, and you could take it across the country to another bank, show them this receipt for your gold, and exchange that note for the amount of gold that you had stored at the other bank. This is where currency came into existence. Now, over time, our currency has become backed less and less and less by actual gold and silver, until it is no longer backed by any gold or silver. Okay, so let's time travel real quick, and this is why I love history. Right here I have 2 dimes. This is worth 20 cents right now, and they were minted in 2020, last year, and 2002. Now, let's go back only 58 years to 1963/1964, and let's grab 2 of those dimes right here. These 2 dimes have a face value of 20 cents, but they are 90% silver. So let's look up how much these 2 dimes from 1963 and 64 are actually worth. So check this out. We can actually go and check the spot price of silver, 23.96. That is what it is today, September 15th, 2021. Now we can go over here, type in the spot price, find what dimes we have right here, 1946 to 64. We have 2 dimes. Those 2 dimes say that they're worth 10 cents each and 20 cents combined, but together they're actually worth $3.46. It's because they're made out of 90% silver versus nickel and some other less rare metals for the modern dimes. So let's time travel one more time. Let's look up how much milk cost in 1900, and we're looking at 14 per half gallon. So we're looking at 28 cents per gallon. So let's divide that by 0.4, because that's what we have is 2 dimes, so 40 cents, and that's 70%. So let's apply that towards our silver value, which is 3.466. So times 3.466. That comes out to 242. So that would be the equivalent of a gallon of milk nowadays costing $2.42. Let's check and see how much milk costs nowadays. $2.59. $2.59 is pretty dang close to $2.44. So now you can see that if we had saved our silver dimes over 100 years, it would still get us the same amount of milk. But if we had saved our non-silver dimes, our currency, for 100 years, it would only get us 8% of a gallon. That's ridiculous. That should really open up your eyes to the difference between money and currency. And I have them right here. 2 silver dimes, 90%, and 2 non-silver dimes. This is why there's a lot of people out there who say that savers are losers, because when you save a currency that is continuously being inflated and more of them are being printed into circulation, what remains in circulation goes down in value. I want to show you one more cool little thing while we have these silver dimes out, and that's the sound that it makes. There's a reason why gold and silver is called sound money. And that's because you used to be able to tell if it was pure gold or silver, or if it had other less rare metals mixed in with it. The Romans were famous for doing this. When they would go to war, they would take all of their gold coins and they'd start mixing in other metals to make them less valuable, so they'd have more to go around to pay for things. So let's go ahead and listen to this. Here's the regular dimes, and that sounds normal. Let's drop them again, one more time. Normal dimes, and then compare to silver dimes. See the difference? You can really hear the difference there. Non-silver dimes, silver dimes, non-silver dimes, silver dimes. Pretty cool, right? The first time I ever actually witnessed this was I was in 29 Palms when I was in the Marine Corps, and I got something out of a vending machine and it gave me change back. And the coins came out. There were several quarters. There's a couple of quarters that came out, and one of them sounded fake to me. Ironic, right? I got that quarter and I saw that there was kind of a nick pushed into the edge of it. And I started looking around and I remembered what my dad had taught me as a kid, that silver coins didn't have the copper edge around them. And I looked at it and I saw, sure enough, there was no copper edge on it, and it was a 1964 quarter. And that's why it sounded weird. And I still have that quarter to this day. In fact, here it is right here, and you can see no copper edge. Pretty cool, right? I hope this was fun for you to see the difference in money versus currency over a long period of time, and how one has lost over 90% of its purchasing power in 100 years, where the other one has held it almost exactly the same over time. I also hope that you can see the importance of saving money versus saving currency. In the next video, we're going to be talking about assets versus liabilities and how that pertains to crypto and investments in general. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.